What do you recall most about serving on the Board of Governors with Jack Hickey?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with anyone by that name.
You're president this year. Congratulations on a long service on the Board of Governors. I know I came on 1 year before you did. And as you will recall, we always had an unwritten rule on the board that nobody spoke at their first meeting for sure. Nobody really spoke during their first year on the board. But of course, you came at orientation, which was the meeting before your actual first official meeting, and spoke during that meeting. So while it may have only taken you a good 7 or 8 years to dig yourself out of that hole, you did a fantastic job. You've been a fantastic board member. You've really grown with the board. You're prepared for all your materials, and the board has been better off for you. I'm sorry we can't do this in person. We'll certainly miss you. But you know, when I'm down in Coral Gables, we'll be sure to keep in touch. Best wishes, and thanks for all you've done for me this year.
So Jack, I guess this is it. A kind of weird ending to your amazing time on the Board of Governors. When I first came on, I knew you a little bit because we were both from Miami, but I got to know you so much better while you were on the board, and I was so grateful that I could. I promise you I did not pick this room to do my little goodbye to you because there's a wedding dress and a tuxedo. It's nothing to do with that. It just happens to be that I'm a divorce lawyer and that's there. So do not take it personally. But in all truth, I have enjoyed working with you, and there's going to be a huge hole in the room when you are no longer there to speak out, as you have always done since the moment I came on the board, and give your opinions and your analyses that have always been well thought out and really always coming from a good and honest place. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your service, and I'll miss you greatly next year.
I want to say we are going to miss you, my friend. Jack was the first person on the Board of Governors to greet me in the lobby, I think in the Breakers in 2011, and welcome me, and I've never forgotten that and always enjoy being with you. And I hope you'll come back and visit us. You can participate in a debate. You don't need to read the materials because you never read them anyway. So I'm kidding about that. But God bless you, Jack, and Godspeed. And we look forward to seeing you again. So be well, my friend.
It is Steve Davis. This is to say goodbye to you, at least bye to you on video. It has been an honor serving with you on the Board of Governors. As you see, I wear a shirt, tie, and even cufflinks today because, Jack, that's how you dress. Jack, you are all class. You are always one of the top friends that I've had on the board, and it's been an honor to be with you.
I was bar president of the Florida Bar from 2017 to 2018. I got this email from someone in your office asking me to record my brief recollections and thoughts on what you meant to the Board of Governors and your service on the board. Candidly, I don't remember you even being on the board during that time period or at any time during my tenure, nor do I have any recollection of you at all. So very difficult to reflect on what you meant to the board.
If you'll remember this, but I actually met you before we became Board of Governors representatives. I met you at a Puerto Rican Bar Association dinner about 2009, and we happened to be sitting at the same table, and I shared with you that I was looking to run for an open Board of Governors seat, and you shared with me that you were on the Board of Governors. And so at that time, you shared so many wonderful stories and the camaraderie that had been built for the time that you had been there, and it made a difference for me in ensuring that what I was up to was the right decision and choice at that time. I was not lucky enough to get on the Board of Governors until 2012, and even then you were warm and welcoming, and that made such a difference. And over the years, I have gotten to know you better since 2012 when I had the opportunity to join the board. You've always given very important perspective to any issue that arose. And for that, I'll always be thankful. But most of all, I am so thankful for your friendship, for you always being there, willing to listen, and give great insight and input. I wish you much, much success, and I know that although you're leaving the board, I so know that we will remain in touch and will remain good friends. And I certainly look forward to continuing our friendship and professional relationship as we go forward. Thank you again for everything. And I wish you all the best, my friend.
Jack, we just wanted to say goodbye. Thank you for everything you've done on the Board of Governors. Thank you for your service to the 11th Circuit, the people of Florida, and all the lawyers. We'll miss you. We'll miss your speeches at the meetings. We'll miss the selfies from weird angles. And
Bye.
Ayla, what would you like to say to Jack?
Bye.
Bye. Ari says goodbye. Good luck with your next endeavors with the American Association for Justice and everything else you're doing. So thank you again, Jack. You will be missed. Bye, Jack.
Jack has been one of the most influential leaders on the board, not only from his experience in working with the board and the various committees, but also from the point of view that he brings to the meetings and his uncanny ability to ask the questions that people are thinking but have yet to articulate it either verbally or in their mind. Jack has an uncanny ability to get right to it and to ask the meaningful questions on the tough issues. I'm sure that comes from his years of being a trial lawyer, and I certainly have seen that value in Jack's role on the board, and also the respect that he has of his peers and his colleagues is both impressive and profound. A quick story about my introduction to Jack. My predecessor, who many of you remember, Steve Echsner, when he was preparing me for coming on the board, he said, one guy you have got to get to know quickly is my friend from Miami, Jack Hickey. And Steve would tell the story that if you would go to Jack's website, a cruise ship would literally come out of the screen onto your desk and inflate somehow. And he always tried to figure out how Jack managed to make that happen. And my first encounter with Jack was the first Board of Governors, the general meeting on a Friday, my first one. And I walk into the meeting and quickly realize I am the only Board of Governors representative in that meeting without a tie on. Now, I did not wear a tie. I did not bring a tie, based on the advice from my good friend and predecessor, Steve Echsner. And so during the first break, I got a chance to meet Jack out in the hallway, and I said, Jack, I just want to introduce myself to you. And I said, man, yeah, and so we hit it off. And after a few moments, I said, Jack, frankly, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm the only one here in the room at the table without a tie on. And I go, my buddy Steve told me that often ties aren't necessary on a Friday. And Jack looked at me and said, he said two things. One, you took advice on fashion from Steve Echsner. And then the next thing you did was say, well, then I'm joining you. And he promptly took his tie off and went back into the room with me so that I had at least one other colleague, a compatriot, without a tie on. That's perfect example of Jack Hickey's ability to relate, to make people feel comfortable, very welcoming, and a great mentor to me on the board, and I know to many others. Jack could not think more highly of you, could not respect you more, not only in your role in this profession, but the service that you have provided to the members of the Florida Bar and this board. We're going to miss you. We love you. And we know this won't be the last we see you. Take care.
Love Jack Hickey. Okay, the truth is out. Now it's a Miami type of love. It's a manly love. It's not a love that should concern Jack, though Jack gets concerned about these things. What does it mean? What are the people going to say in the panhandle? What do you mean by love? Is it an altruistic love? Is it a Socratic love? Is it a personal injury love? Is it a medical malpractice love? I love Jack. Jack is a good human being. He has his foibles. Sometimes he thinks his suit looks perfect and it doesn't. He likes to make sure that everything's in place, and sometimes it's not, but I don't tell that to Jack because I love Jack. Now, it's been difficult for me the last few months. One, I've been unable to shave. I stopped wearing a tie. It's the first time I haven't worn a suit on a routine basis in almost 40 years. And I haven't been able to hug my friends. And when I think about my friends, I think about the good people at the Board of Governors who I loved, spent time with, broke bread, argued with. Some of them were a little too punitive on those reprimands. In the 12 years I was on the board, I miss all of you, and I want to congratulate Jack on a wonderful showing of civic virtue in these difficult times. So all my best and congratulations to Jack, who now will be able to work full-time and not have the duties of the board impinging his settlements on behalf of the injured, the maimed, and the maligned. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the meeting.
Okay, I will remember Jack's gifts to the members of the Florida Bar by his service on the Board of Governors. Gifts of his dedication, expertise, and experience. Jack truly contributed to the uniqueness of how the Board of Governors addressed many challenging issues. However, most importantly to me, I will remember Jack's gift of friendship. In the words of E.B. White, "You have been my friend." That in itself is a tremendous gift. Thank you, Jack.
And he set about to understand the bar and its intricacies. He was always serious about his role on the board, and never shied away from taking on a task. And Jack's a very good lawyer, and that came through in his board service. On top of that, he's very articulate, and Jack would not shy away from any issues that maybe needed to be vetted or debated. And so overall, Jack was a very, very good member of the board. And I thank him for his many years of service, for all of the lawyers in Florida, and for his service when I was on the board as a board member, and for the year I was president.
Like about Jack is he's always just there. I mean, he's constant. He listens well. And one thing that was really nice is when we had our meeting down in Coral Gables, I don't know, 8 years ago or more, he invited the whole group of us over to his home for dinner, his lovely home there in Coral Gables. It was just magnificent. And I just thought, this is the kind of lawyer that I would like to be someday. So Jack, you're going to be missed, buddy. I can tell you that, but in the same light, you know, you're probably going to miss that $200,000 a year we get paid for joining or being on the bar committee all the time. So, but take care of yourself, and just come see me sometime in Lakeland. I'm here.
Good morning. We come to the Florida Bar Board of Governors for various reasons and with different agendas. Some come for power and ego. Some come for service to the profession and to fellow lawyers. Some come as a stepping stone for the future. And these and others are all good and legitimate reasons for the pursuit. But when we leave the Board of Governors, we all go with the same three things. First, memories of our experience, especially those fancy hotels. Second, contribution to the enhancement of our profession. And third, friendship with hundreds of colleagues. And that is what I am most grateful for in my service on the board, of having met and become great friends with Jack Hickey. And my friendship with Jack goes well beyond to members of my family, even to mermaids. Take it away, Cookie.
May this be a celebration of your contribution to the profession, and may this also be a time of reflection on your personal attributes that make you a wonderful attorney, caring friend, and overall great human being. From Copenhagen to Miami to Luga.
You get in here and hold this phone for, hold my eye. Make sure you get it from this side because this eye doesn't stay open great. But I've got to do this stupid thing for the Board of Governors. All right, and who's this for again? Let me look. Jack Hickey, I remember him. Okay, let's start it. What do you mean you started it? Oh, we're recording. Jack, I am so excited. I am so excited to be doing this video for you because, of course, you're one of my faves. And let me see now. In all seriousness, Jack, you are probably one of the most principled members of the Board of Governors. I can't count the number of times that you were the only one that stood up for your position, but nonetheless, you did it. So you have always stood up for the underdog and for what you believed in. I have been honored to serve with you on the Board of Governors. The board is going to deeply, deeply miss you. Truly. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Probably like they miss me. Love you. Mwah.
I remember when I first met Jack Hickey, it was July 2008, almost 12 years ago. We were at a bar meeting. He had just become a member of the Board of Governors, and he walked up to me and put his hands on my shoulders, did this at the top of my suit, and said, "That's not half bad. That's a good-looking suit. What's your name?" And that was my introduction to Jack Hickey. And he was wearing a very nice suit at the time. I think it was probably pinstripes. And then he started telling me all about his practice with the cruise lines. And he was just very intriguing. And for the next 12 years, I've learned so much about him, and we've had occasion to refer cases. And he's just an absolute joy to work with, both on the board and in practice. And he is going to be missed by everyone on the board, and I'm certainly going to miss him after 12 years of having the opportunity to work together. But I'm not going to let him disappear. And Jack, I hope you see this. I know you will. You'll watch every one of these and you'll critique them, and you'll probably give me a call and tell me what I should have said or how I sound too Southern. But I hope you know we love you and we'll miss you. And I love you and I'll miss you. Keep being great and keep working hard. Take care, Jack.
You served with great distinction on the board. You were a great member, a great friend. I truly enjoyed being on the board with you. I've truly enjoyed serving in all different capacities with you in bar activities in Dade County and elsewhere. You are a great bar leader. You're a great lawyer and a great friend, and I wish you only the best.
Jack Hickey from Miami, Florida.
Sorry, not ringing a bell. I'm sorry.
Hickey leaving the Board of Governors. This is truly the passing of an era. I'm Leslie Lott, and also a Miami attorney, and had the honor of serving with Jack on the Board of Governors from 2010 to 2018. Jack was there when I came on the board, and obviously there after I left. As I'm sure you've heard, Jack didn't always follow the rules, but he was always there, always prepared, always cared passionately about the issues that came before the board, and spoke articulately on the issues of concern to him. Always a smile, always a joke, always a kind word, except maybe for Dennis Kainen. I was honored to share the Best Dressed Governor Award with Jack in 2018 when I left the board. And I'm honored to have served with my dear friend and neighbor, Jack Hickey. Congratulations, my friend, on a distinguished tenure with the Florida Bar Board of Governors.
It's been such a pleasure spending time with you on the Board of Governors. Personally, I've enjoyed our times talking about exercise and dieting and all the cool things that go on in South Florida. Professionally, you have been a leader on the board. I've learned so much from watching you on the board and seeing how you analyze issues. I will miss your leadership on the board, but I know our friendship will continue on into the future. Congratulations on your time and service on the board, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future.
This is a very difficult video to make. Right now, the committee is making its final determinations about recognitions and awards on behalf of the BOG. So it's brought to mind, and I've had a chance to reflect upon the unprecedented year-over-year consecutive recognitions that you've received from the board in connection with your service. It's one of those unassailable records, I think, that'll be in the record books for a long time. And who's to say? Who knows what the outcome will be of those deliberations this year, but you know, at least the prospect has been raised that once you've left the board, you may still actually be under consideration for recognition. And again, I think that's unprecedented and speaks a great deal to the role that you've played on the board. I'm gonna miss you, Jack. I have enjoyed working with you on the board. You've certainly brought the keen intellect and experience of a litigator, and that's been a great contribution. It's helped elevate our discussions and our deliberations as a board. And I think all of your colleagues would characterize you as being fearless when it comes to asking the tough questions and being willing to do that. So I think that's been a huge contribution. Frankly, I've learned a lot from working with you on the board. So for all our colleagues, all of our members who won't take the time to thank you, I'll take a minute and thank you for the contributions that you've made to the board and your many years of service. And beyond that, I mean, personally, Jack, I've really enjoyed getting to know you better and serving with you on the handful of committees where we've worked together and on the board. And there's no question we've had a chance to share a couple laughs as well. And for me, you know, in the tradition of, I guess, Hank Cox and Man Downs, Jay White, and others, I've always approached the board as a place to, you know, work hard and do good work, but try to find a way to have fun doing it. And I appreciate your friendship and your willingness to be a good sport. And we'll definitely miss you. If your travels bring you up to Richmond, I hope you'll keep me in mind. And for my part, when I'm down to Miami, I will be sure to seek you out and try to check in, see how things are going. And I hope we can find ways to continue to cross paths in the future. So good luck. I hope things go well in your practice. And I look forward to catching up at the final meeting in June. See ya.
So, Jack, I cannot believe it's come to this. I'm going to have to be on the Board of Governors without you. So, a number of problems with that. First, you're the best dressed guy on the entire board. I don't know who I'm going to turn to for fashion cues, but if you see me out and about and I'm not well dressed, just know it's because I don't have your example to follow at the meetings. And then, I don't know what I'm going to do when my BMW breaks down. Who's going to find me a great mechanic who's not going to destroy my car and charge me thousands and thousands of dollars? And probably the worst part of it is, Jack, from now on when I get stranded in the Miami airport, I guess I'm going to have to sleep on the bench because I'm not going to be able to crash your pad when I see you in the airport and put on my puppy dog eyes, tell you that I'm homeless for the night, and follow you home. In any event, Jack, I'm going to miss you terribly. There's a part of me that's a little bit envious that you're now free of all of these endless meetings. But please hurry down to Key West, come and see us at the club, and I'll make sure that I find a way to come and crash your house, whether I find you at the airport or not.
By the authority vested in me by absolutely nobody, I hereby proclaim Jack Hickey as the undisputed and unchallenged king of the smartphone selfie. He also could not have been any nicer, any more accepting, or any more helpful to me as a non-lawyer member of the Florida Bar Board of Governors. And that began our 5-year and hopefully beyond friendship. I have enormous respect, admiration, fondness, and gratitude for Jack. And I wish only the very best of professional success and personal happiness as he concludes his remarkable, really outstanding service to the Board of Governors of the Florida Bar. Jack, I love you, man, and all the very best.
Jack, I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your many years of service to the Board of Governors. I recall that when I first came on the board, you had already been on the board for several years, and for me, you were such a source of information and guidance, and I always respected your counsel, both when we spoke personally about bar events and also when you spoke in the crowd. You were always a voice of reason and somebody who I and all the boards of governors listen to, and we certainly appreciate your years of service. Wish I could be there to give you this message in person. Of course, things are a little unique right now, but I didn't want to pass on the opportunity to tell you just how much respect I have for you personally and professionally, and to thank you on behalf of all of the bar for your many years of outstanding service. Godspeed as you go on to other adventures and ventures, and I wish you all the best and certainly look forward to meeting with you again. Thanks so much, Jack. Congratulations.
Jack, I've known you for so long, I can't even remember when we first met. I think it was definitely before you became president of the Dade County Bar Association. I remember I met you and you were this really well-dressed, well-spoken, interesting guy. And from those days, I've always appreciated your support when I started my firm back in 2005. And you've always supported the Asian Pacific American Bar Association. And that association was started right at the end of your DCBA presidency. And you've been a great BOG member, and I'll miss you. And I just want to let you know that I say all these things no matter what anyone else says about you. Hope to see you soon in person. Take care, Jack.
I first joined the Board of Governors in 2017. He was one of the first board members to come up to me and introduce himself to me and sort of explain how things work, at the board. He told me I was going to work hard, I was going to enjoy the intellectual debates, and I was going to make a difference. And that was one of the things that he liked so much about being on the board. He also told me I was going to make some great friends, and he's quite right. The people on the Board of Governors have a passion for service, and he is certainly one of those people who exhibits it in everything he does. I really admire him. When he speaks, people listen. He always stands up and he speaks thoughtfully and forcefully about the issues. And I appreciate what he says because it's always comes from the heart and is thoughtful. So, but most of all, I think I'm going to miss Jack. I really appreciated his friendship and wish him well. And he should come to the Board of Governors meetings anyway.
It has been such a tremendous honor and privilege to get to know you and work with you on the Board of Governors during the past 2 years, and then several years ago for 2 years when I was Wildy president and president-elect. You have been a tremendous asset to this board, our profession, the legal community, and the Florida Bar. Please keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say until we see each other again, which I hope is soon, so we can celebrate your tremendous achievements in person. Take care, my friend.
Sure you don't recall a Jack Hickey?
I've looked through my files. Hickey, he didn't really call himself Hickey, does he?
Hi, Jack. I am standing up, wearing a pocket square with my jacket, and it is buttoned. And I want to say thank you and congratulations on your incredible work on this board. You've been a great friend and a great mentor, and I wish you the best of luck. I know you're going into the office every day, even during this pandemic, wearing your beautiful blue suits. So hope you're well. Bye-bye.
One of my heroes is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he said that the true measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversy. And Jack Hickey is a true gentleman. We know where he stands. He shares freely what he believes to be the truth and what he believes to be right. And I saw that time and time again as a member of the Board of Governors. He didn't always take the most popular view, but he always stood for what he thought was right. And for that reason, if for no other, I cherished my time with him on the board. I'd also like to say that he is charming, he is warm and funny, and he has to be one of the best dressed members of the board that I've experienced. He's always sharp. I did have an opportunity to read some of the client testimonials that were posted, and I fully comprehend why they would say the things that they say about Jack. They say, for example, that he goes above and beyond. I got to see that. That he treats people with respect like family. I got to see that. That he's always professional. He's very skilled. He's understanding. He's patient. And one client even said, we're blessed to have had you in our lives. And I'd like to echo that sentiment by saying I have been blessed by having Jack Hickey in my life. Thank you.
I first met Jack actually at his house when he had the entire YLD and big board over. And, you know, and having conversations with him, I thought, wow, this guy's eloquent, well-dressed, and damn, he's pretty good looking. And, you know, after he talked a few times in the meeting, and by a few times, I mean about a dozen or two, I realized he agreed with my thoughts very much, that he is a good-looking man. And but in all seriousness, Jack, it was great to meet you. You've done great things for the bar. I know we'll stay in touch, and congratulations on an excellent ride.
Want to say thank you so very much for your very warm welcome. The first Board of Governor meeting that I ever attended in 2018. What I'm going to remember about you is somebody who was on the Board of Governors for a decade, giving me a hearty welcome. I really appreciate it, giving me some great advice on how the Board of Governors works. You are the epitome of being a great colleague, and I greatly appreciate that. I'll tell a little story about you that you probably don't even know. I go to England every year around Thanksgiving time to do some marketing with solicitors over there that send me cases. And one particular firm from Wales that I was bringing out for drinks started asking me, like, hey, you know this maritime lawyer in Miami? And I'm like, oh, who are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, Jack Hickey's great. He's great. We send him cases all the time, and he gets our clients really good results. And I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, yep, I know him. He's a great lawyer. Keep sending him cases. So there you go, Jack. I'll continue to market for you in the UK. And God bless you and Godspeed. Thank you so much for your service to the Florida Bar. Appreciate it.
Congratulations on a job well done. Your service to the bar has been remarkable, and we all know that you will be sadly missed. I know that I miss your outfits. You were the best dressed man on the board. I miss your friendship, your hard work, your loyalty, and your willingness to do the right thing even if it's not the most popular. But most importantly, who are we going to send our lunch bills to? I don't know that there are any fancy pants plaintiffs lawyers left down on the board from Miami, so we'll miss that the most. Congratulations.
It has been my privilege to become close friends with Jack Hickey over the past 15 years. Jack reminds me in many ways of the title character of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's famed novel Le Petit Prince in his quest for adventure and to help others around him. From injured victims of terrible accidents in his tremendous courtroom victories to the great judges and lawyers of Miami-Dade County whom he represents as a governor of the Florida Bar over the past 12 years, Jack exemplifies the very definition of a gentleman, a scholar, and an advocate. It will not be the same on the Board of Governors without the infectious smile and zest for learning that Jack brings to every meeting. We wish him the very best in his next stages of a highly successful career.
I'm going to miss you so much on the board. You know, I haven't been on the board as long as many of the others, but I can tell you that in my 2 years on the board, you certainly have made an impact on me. Your warmth, your willingness to just be willing to talk about anything, anytime. I truly appreciate it, and I especially appreciate our friendship. So although I will miss you on the board, I know that we will continue to be friends and continue to see each other. And I just look forward to what's next on the horizon for you, because I know it's not going to stop here. And I'm very excited for the future for you. We'll miss you, Jack.
Jack, thank you so much for your service on the Florida Bar Board of Governors, and especially for setting the standard as being the best dressed member of the Board of Governors, except of course for Brian Burgoon, who always outpaced you, but you did well striving to keep up with him. Best of luck in everything.
Jack, what can I say? You're one of a kind, but thank you for your service on the board and for your constant support of the YLD. It has not gone unnoticed. Best of luck, and thank you again for a great run on the board.
Jack, you are an absolutely wonderful person. I've known you for over 32 years. We started out practicing law together at about the same time. I believe you graduated from law school in 1980, as did I. What I love about you, Jack, is you give back to everyone and everything. You gave back to your profession. You served on the Board of Governors for 12 years. Very few people do that, and you did that because you have a commitment to excellence and helping your profession. But you didn't want to just work and help your profession statewide. You also wanted to help here locally. And you served as president of the Dade County Bar, and you distinguished yourself. I can't list all the accolades you received during that time, but they were well-deserved, and you did a great job. Most importantly, your clients love you also. You're not only an award-winning attorney, but you're their award-winning attorney. They love their Jack Hickey. You give them the foundation for success. You allow them to move forward as a result of your great legal advocacy. And I don't like saying this, Jack, because I don't want you to blush, but you're one hell of a smart guy. You graduated Phi Beta Kappa. You went to this unknown law school. Let me see, Duke Law School. And you did well there. And then you became board certified, not in one area, but in 2 areas, in civil trial as well as admiralty. So I want to congratulate you, Jack, for a job well done. You have honored your profession. You've honored your friends, your family. You've been a consistent example of what an excellent lawyer does, both in terms of the community as well as in terms of your profession. I could talk about what you did with Big Brothers and Big Sisters in the 1980s with me, helping me fundraise with that charity. You did it all, and I thank you, and you always did it with a smile. Congratulations on everything, Jack.
Hello, Jack. Jay White here from Self-Isolation. Well, my friend, as they say, all good things must come to an end, so this is coming to an end for you. Candidly, I was unaware you were still on the Board of Governors. It seems like you've been on 25, 30 years, so, you know, I guess maybe it's about time. But sincerely, Jack, I want to thank you for all of your years of dedication and hard work for the Florida Bar and your circuit. You've always done a wonderful job. I was able to observe you as a fellow Board of Governor member and also as president of the Florida Bar, and you were always well prepared. You always made a significant contribution to the process, and you truly always had the Florida Bar as well as your circuit best in your heart. And your service on the Board of Governors has been outstanding, and you did make a difference, Jack. And now I get to have fun because I get to tell some stories about you. But no, I'm just kidding. I won't ruin your pristine reputation with everyone. Although I will say you're probably one of the best dressed guys on the board, so I'll give you that compliment. But I hope, Jack, I hope you stay involved in the bar because we can use certainly your talents and your dedication and your skill set because you've always done a wonderful job. And I want to tell you that as soon as this crazy times and crazy world is over with this virus, we'll go out and grab a drink. And again, thank you for everything you've done. You've been a wonderful member, and we all appreciate it. And whatever you do in the future, my friend, Godspeed and God bless. Take care.
Jack, congratulations on a fantastic run on the Board of Governors. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you, working with you all of these years. We've had so many great times together, and I look forward to seeing you soon and to celebrating with you. Until then, I love you, my friend. Congrats.
Jack Hickey, I'm sorry to see you leave the Board of Governors. You've always been, to me, a wonderful colleague and friend. You're an excellent attorney, and our board meetings will not be the same without your quick wit, interesting insights, or flavorful comments. I wish you continued success in your practice with good health, joy, and plenty of fun. I will miss you on our board, but will continue our friendship as we grow older. Best of luck, and thank you for your service to our profession. Best wishes, Diana.
Hey, Jack. This is your old pal from Brevard County, Florida. Just wanted to take a few minutes to wish you well and wish you goodbye. I can't believe you are finally leaving the board. I'm sure they're going to miss those long speeches that you used to make at the full board meetings. I know I miss them. I hope you are going to find something else to do with your time. It was a pleasure serving with you on the board, and it's also a pleasure being your friend and staying in contact with you. Wish you all the best, Jack.
I love Jack, Hickey, whatever. He's been a dear friend for over a decade now, and has not only made the Board of Governors a better place, but he's made the Florida Bar a better organization. And on a personal note, you know, for the last 10 or 15 years, I've been involved with the Board of Governors roasts, and I can say this: no one, and I mean no one, has provided me more material than Mr. Hickey. Hickey, sorry. Take care, Jack. Take care, all of you guys. Stay safe, be well, and Godspeed.